Hey everybody, it's me again, and it's got to be some kind of record for videos in a day, but, well, there it is. So, thought I would just continue on, do another Kinks album review. So, without further ado, we come to UK Jive, the Kinks 1989 album, last album of that decade. Came out in October of that year. This, made it all the way to number 132 on the US chart. Didn't chart anywhere else, so not a terribly successful album. And I've got this on vinyl not too long ago. Didn't buy it when it came out. Has two songs on the CD I noticed that are not on the album. Two Dave Davies songs at the end called Perfect Strangers and Bright Lights. Don't have the CD, so haven't ever heard those songs, so won't be able to comment on those. Here's the jacket. It's got a little bend up there, but I was kind of happy to find this in vinyl because it's out of print. It's not super rare, but it's kind of hard to find. This is a promotional copy. There's a promotional stamp on the back there with the barcode. There's the back. There's a British Union Jack on fire, and I guess those are supposed to be the Kinks clothes there. The Kinks, the world's premier rock and roll band, featuring the new hits How Do I Get Close, Aggravation, and Entertainment. UK Jive is the title of the album. They weren't really hits. There was a single release from this called Down All the Days. Is that right? Down All the Days to 1992, which didn't chart anywhere, so not sure how big a hit that is. There's a song called How Do I Get Close, which I looked up and it went to number 21 on the American chart, which is kind of surprising because I don't remember ever hearing it on the radio, and I've never heard it till I played this album here recently. Like I said at the time, I don't remember. I remember seeing this in the record store. I don't think I remembered the vinyl. I think I remember seeing the CDs because by this time, 89, but I don't remember ever hearing any of these songs off this album on the radio ever. So, still on MCA, and their return to popularity of a few years ago is pretty much evaporated by this point, and that stays that way till they break up, unfortunately for them. Yeah, so I wasn't, these last few albums, and after this we've got two albums to go. I hadn't heard them till I bought them a few months ago, and the last two I still haven't heard. I was not expecting to like any of these. I was thinking I was going to come on here and say, well, they should have broken up early because at this point they're just going through the motions and they're out of gas. Kind of surprised by the one before this, which was Think Visual, that I liked it more than I thought I would, even though it wasn't a great album. Same with this. This is I looked up reviews of this on Amazon, and there aren't that many. There's about 17, but it's about half and half. A lot of people saying that they're past their prime and this isn't very good, and there's a lot of people saying this is a hidden gem by the Kinks, and I kind of fall more towards the hidden gem, which surprised me. Also read an article not too long ago that someone in a magazine ranked the Kinks albums, all the regular releases, from least to best, and this was at the very bottom. So I don't think that it's, I think there's some albums that they made that this is better than, and it's certainly not one of their best, but it's not bad. I kind of liked it, and I think I like it a little bit more than Think Visual, which I kind of like too, but you know, and it's not, again, not a starting point. If you haven't been into the Kinks, this isn't the place to start. There's a lot better Kinks albums out there, but so let's say we got just go through the song list here. Aggravation starts the album off, which is a pretty good song. It's got a nice bass, you know, say bass beat, but a nice bass line, bass riff, I guess, in part of it. It's got a little kind of a funk guitar here and there, which reminds me a little bit of Kiss, the Prince song, and it's otherwise kind of a hard rock song. It's Dave Davies complaining about Ray Davies, I'm sorry, complaining about stuff as he tends to do, and it's a pretty good song though. It's kind of, you're thinking about with some of these later day albums, you're thinking this is the same band that did Waterloo Sunset and You Really Got Me and Autumn Almanac, and it's kind of hard to believe because there's nothing here that compares to any of those songs, but still pretty good songs. So the next song up is How Do I Get Close, which is not very good. It's kind of a generic adult contemporary sounding song, sort of a power ballad sounding thing, and I don't like power ballad songs. And it's kind of strange because in parts of it, it kind of sounds like the Kinks are trying to sound like Def Leppard or one of those kind of 80s hard rock or hair metal bands, which is kind of disconcerting. And it's not a very good song. So UK Jive, title song, really great song. One of the highlights of the album. It's a dance friendly, sort of kind of hard to not get up, and not that I got up and danced around, but I mean it's hard not to get your pulse racing and get you excited a little bit there. And it's racing and acting kind of silly, and it's starts off sort of a doo-wop sounding thing, and it sort of switches gears here and there. Toward the end of the song, there's sort of a drum and guitar breakdown, which sounds a little bit like the end of My Generation by The Who, one of the great songs of all time there. And then there's just a nice little guitar riff playing by Dave, I'm sure, to take the song home. So good songs, one of the best on the album. Next song up, Now and Then, which is sort of a ballad, sort of a bittersweet longing, looking back at better days type song, which Ray sort of specializes in. He's done better in that regards, but this is a pretty good one, and yeah, so this is a pretty good solid song. What Are We Doing is Inside One. It's a nice song. There's not much to it, and that's really all I can say on that. There's just not much to it. It's nice, I guess. Side 2 starts with Entertainment. It's kind of a hard rock, arena rock type thing, and not in a good way. I'm not a big arena rock fan anyway, but sometimes they can do that right. It's sort of how we're thrilled by, car wreck mentality, talking about TV and media and entertainment, how we like the scandal and all that stuff, which is kind of, this is 1989, so you got to think, TV and stuff only got worse with the advent of reality shows and all the stuff that's on there now, 5-10 years after the fact here. Just sort of empty entertainment type of railing against that. But song, lyrically it makes a point. Song-wise, it's not very good. War Is Over comes up next. Another one of the highlights of the album. Might be my favorite song on the album. It is sounds like it could have been done in the 60s. It sounds kind of 60-ish. Kind of reminds me of The Jam a little bit in places too. Shopping, if you know the song Shopping by The Jam, kind of reminds me of that in tone. It doesn't sound exactly like it, but it's 60s sounding with a little bit of a hint of an 80s feel to it. Kind of a nice vocal and a good song, and highlight of the album there. Sort of a Big Sky bit of grandeur in the singing and the vocal delivery. Good stuff. Good stuff is Down All the Days to 1992 is up next. Kind of sounds like the Kinks of the 79 to 83 period, but it kind of sounds like they were trying to go for that sound, and it's sort of a second-rate take on that sound. Because they did a lot of good songs in that period, but this is just sort of a retread, and they're just kind of on autopilot for that song, so there's not much to that. Next song up is Loony Balloon, and the Loony Balloon is the Earth or the world. A lot of people, when I was reading reviews on Amazon, that was one of them that they picked out as the highlight of the album. Still kind of deciding on that, but I'm leaning towards liking it. It's kind of got a kind of lazy samba feel, and it's kind of like an Irish folk sing-along song, but with a little more rocking beat to it. So I'm thinking I'm going to like that one. I'll have to play that a few more times. Last song, the last three songs on the CD are all Dave Davies songs. We only get one of them. It's Dear Margaret, be Margaret Thatcher. Hard rock song. It's not one of Dave's best, but it's not a bad song. So not a great ending to the album. Yeah, so there we go. They end the 80s with UK Jive. I'm going to give this probably, gave the last album a 6.5. I think this is a little bit better. I'll go a 7 on it. The highlights are some really good stuff here that I'd never heard, and glad that I finally did. If I was to make a compilation, a mix CD of Kinks songs, there's some things from here I would definitely include. Definitely the UK Jive and War is Over, maybe Looney Balloon, and maybe Aggravation. So there's some good stuff here. You know, they've done better, but I'll give it a 7. I picked that up on, I don't remember whether I bought this off eBay or Amazon, but when I bought it, they also sent me the Kinks Lost and Found, which is a song off Think Visual, their album before. It's a promo copy, 12-inch, on a white MCA label, and same song on both sides, same length, so it's just a double-sided thing they sent out to the radio stations, I guess, who didn't play it very much because it wasn't a hit or anything. But so we're getting near the end here. We got 2 albums to go, and it'd be a little while because the next album up, I'm wanting to do these in order. I have the last one, but I don't want to skip. I guess I could, but I just don't want to. The next album up I don't have yet, so I'm going to have to pick that up, and I will be back. And like I said, I've got another series of reviews of a person and or group after the Kinks, and we'll get into that once I finish the Kinks. And there's actually 2. I'm going to do 2 groups and or people. I'm not going to say, I'll just keep you guessing. So we'll get started on those as soon as we finish up the Kinks. And guess that's it. Have a good Sunday night. And if you're watching the Super Bowl, hope you're enjoying it. I've got it on TV, but I don't really have any interest in who wins personally here. So waiting for college football to start up again here in 7 months. Have a good one.